the Snake in. He is doing shows at the Comedy Zone, or a show, I should say, tonight. And you can go to cltcomedyzone.com to get information and to get your tickets. But it's a one-night deal. What an honor to have this man back in the studio with us. Jake the Snake, WWE Hall of Famer and movie star at this point.
Yeah, man.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, bro. Having a wonderful time, back in the Carolinas. It was a lovely Albemarle last night. I had no idea that was there.
You had no idea Albemarle was there?
Yeah. It's easy to miss.
Yeah, that's right.
I just noticed that Jake and I sort of sound the same now that my voice is like this,
Well,
from whatever my deathly illness is.
You guys were making out last night at Albemarle.
That is not accurate. To give so we're on in other cities too, Jake, and so to give somebody an idea, Albemarle is a very small town that's probably an hour outside of the city, and I didn't realize that would have been a spot that you would have gone and given one of your talks on wrestling.
I did not believe it either, man, but evidently there were some hermits up in the hills, and they came out, and we had a blast, man. I can't believe we did. I mean, when we pulled up, I'm like, are you kidding me? And it's one of those two red light towns,
Yeah.
And, hey, I loved it, man. It was the setting was nice and just relaxed, and wow, yeah.
Let's back it up for somebody who I think anybody who, is a wrestling fan, obviously at all knows who Jake the Snake is, for crying out loud. But maybe you're somebody who doesn't have any idea. This man was a legend of the wrestling world for so long and is in the Hall of Fame. But now I think a lot of people may know you from the movie, which was incredible. And last time you were here, we talked about it, but my God, it's been 3 years. I feel like we ought to talk about it some more. I was looking last night to find out where it is, because last time I watched it, it wasn't there anymore. I see that it looks like it's on Hulu now.
Yeah.
Is that something that you stay involved with? Do you follow that, or is that anything for you?
I can't keep up with anything, man. I'm still looking for that last roll of toilet paper. I can't find anything. I don't get on the internet. I don't play those games, man. I just try to do what I do, And,
well,
right now it's just rolling around the country. But I love doing the movie. The only hard part for me was mistreating that kid, because when I was growing up, I had a half brother that was mentally challenged, and people used to point at him and laugh because he drooled and he had bad teeth, and I hated people, man, and I'd get in fights all the time, and so then when I come and do the movie, they want me to mistreat this kid, and I just had a flashback. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And so then, of course, I did it because I'm being paid, and I kind of enjoyed it too. It was just something about doing it and being paid for it, calling me names and calling him a retard and stuff. And it was horrible. But then afterwards, I would go to him. I'm like, now, Zach, you understand? They made me do that. I didn't want to do that. And he'd just look at me with the kindest eyes and go, it's okay, Jake. It made me feel like a real piece of crap.
Sure.
And rightfully so, because the character was a real jerk, but I had fun doing it.
Well, but the movie, I bet, has helped so many people, obviously, including you.
Absolutely.
The resurrection of Jake the Snake.
Just got voted the second best resurrection of all time. Second.
I didn't see the vote. I didn't see the vote.
Jesus beat me out.
Yeah, I was guessing who was number one.
Yeah,
but
Jesus, somebody, I don't know his last name.
For somebody who doesn't know, though, it is an incredible. We're laughing about it, but it's an incredible, moving, powerful movie about you, basically, Diamond Dallas Page saving your life, getting you sober and working you through your paces over a course of how long? What was the time period?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years to get me sober, bro. You do something for 35 or 40 years, you get a routine down, And that's just what I did. And I was still trying to mask all the pain. I was still trying to hide behind things. And, then you start tearing the coverings off of it. It's like a baseball, man. You start unwinding it. It takes a while to get to the center, And it took a long time, man. And I'm so grateful because, you go to rehab, man, and you're in there 3 months, maybe 6 months. But I'll tell you the problem with rehabs. you're in there for a short period of time, and while you're in there, all your bills are mounting up. Ex-wives, all that stuff. Then when you walk out, everybody in the world wants a piece of your rear end, man. And what does that do? That puts all that stress on you. People calling you, hounding you. Oh my God, I can't take this, and boom, you go right back to using. I know, I did that several times.
Right, the stress relief that
Yeah,
you need.
absolutely. I gotta hide. I can't take this. They won't leave me alone. What can I do? And there you go again, man.
Part of what made the movie process bearable, right, was that Diamond was taking care of that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that part of it?
Yeah, that was the deal. When he called me up and said he'd pay all my bills, including my ex-wives, I'm like, hell yeah, I'll see you in the morning. I was there.
That's right.
Give me that checkbook, bitch. Yeah, man, that was very important, man. But, of course, I paid him back after a period of time. I started working again. But we had certain rules, The rule was you don't travel alone. And that's still the rule I live by today. Because I don't want to go back to that guy. I don't want to be that guy anymore, man. It was too painful. It hurt too much. Today, I don't have to make no apologies for what I do. I don't have to think about what I did last night. And my grandkids love me. And that's a cool, cool thing. And I can look in the mirror and say, hey, man, I like you.
Yeah.
And as I keep going, now I'm being invited to other rehabs and stuff to talk. And that really makes me feel good. I mean, if you want to feel good, help somebody. That's all it takes. You don't have to go out and buy a new car, man. Go out and help somebody that really needs help, and it will make you feel awesome. It really will, man.
That's a great message. I believe that. And I think a lot of people know it, but they don't always get out there and do it, right?
Man. It's easier to buy something.
It
I
gets you
want
out
to
of
get
your own
emotionally
head.
connected,
That's all people are trying to get out of their own head and those thoughts. And when you're helping somebody else, you are not in your
Oh,
own
man.
head.
And it's easier to fix somebody else than yourself. It really is.
How
I can fix you in a week.
I don't know. I think
Maybe a
I'm.
month.
I don't
Maybe a
know.
month.
Have you heard
It takes
this?
35 years over here. I know
Yeah,
that's.
you'd be wearing a dress by Tuesday. hey, while I'm here, guys, I'll be doing this thing tonight, man. I just tell road stories and
Yeah.
stuff. And I was riding over here, man. I was thinking, what story can I tell these guys? And I thought, dummy, you're in the Carolinas. So you guys want to hear a Ric Flair story?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
You know what? So
wants to hear?
hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought. And in case you don't know, for some reason, Jake the Snake is here, and he travels the country right now. And obviously, as you heard, in some cases, speaking to folks who are trying to get their lives straight, and in other cases, just having a good time on stage, telling stories from the road, from the old days, from the new
Man,
days.
you're going to love this Flair story. Oh, my God.
All right,
Just too much.
stand by.
What? Ric Flair too much?
Yeah.
We'll get that story and more from Jake the Snake coming up next. By the way, again, at the Comedy Zone tonight, one show at cltcomedyzone.com, and we'll get you some tickets coming up in a second.
Tanya says, you were the beginning of my absolute love of reptiles.
That's different.
That alone.
That's different.
How did I not know you were in Albemarle last night? I am so pissed.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I wonder how they get the word out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Georgine, you can
They
get
beat the drums all afternoon, but nobody came in.
How was there a crowd?
Yeah,
You have a good crowd?
Probably
You're ever
three-fourths away.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't put the show out there like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Interesting.
You never know, man. You go to some of these small towns, and it's like I did a show in Iowa, man. I'm like, oh my God, we're in Iowa. And they did it in an old theater, and I get there, and there's 350 people in this place. It's packed out at $30 a pop, and
Yeah.
I get all of it. Oh, $10,000 plus I did the merch, another 10. Everybody bought
purchased
something,
merch.
man. And so it was like I walked out there with 25 grand. I go to Chicago, I walk out with 4 grand. What am I doing?
Huh.
What am I doing in Chicago? Don't send me to Chicago. Send me to bumfuck.
That's interesting.
Well, it's because they don't get it. You
Yeah.
know, you
Because
come to
nobody does
Charlotte,
come by.
You come to Charlotte, you got concerts, you got this, you got that, blah, blah,
Sure.
too many choices, basketball, football, blah, blah,
Right,
blah, blah.
right,
Everybody's
right.
pulling for the dollar. But you go to Bumfuck, Jake Roberts is gonna wipe his ass at midnight.
I need a ticket to
On the
that.
ground.
But he can't find his toilet paper.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hope he don't cut his ass. How you
look,
doing?
I'm
young
reading
lady?
what people are saying about you on Facebook right
Oh
now.
my God.
Looking good, Jake.
Yeah, on radio.
Do you need water, coffee, anything?
Good.
You good?
Thank you.
So some guy called our voicemail and left a message. I don't even know if I can play this back. And he had some references. Can we hear this on this
Yeah,
or
go ahead.
no?
Hey, Woody Wilcox and Chelsea. This might sound weird, but hey, Jake the Snake, I met you about 47 years ago when you was at Grandma Hunter's. Your mom Marcia was Grandma Hunter's niece, and
Oh,
I
my
knew your
God.
dad or your grandfather Hazel because I met your dad Tiny Anderson, and just a tidbit of information. I just didn't know if you remember any of them people.
Wow.
So, love your wrestling career and take it easy.
He didn't leave his
You
name,
didn't
so I don't
leave
know who
his
that
name or
is.
phone
I'm
number or
glad.
anything, yeah.
Will
I
you
know,
give him a
that's
shout out
all.
on
No thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my stepmother's family. She's the one that sexually abused me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up
Oh,
a
that's
bad
okay.
memory. I didn't know who he was talking
Yeah,
about.
that was really weird, man.
Bizarre.
Damn, there's one still living. I'll be right back.
He sounds like he's okay.
Yeah.
47 years ago, he didn't sound
No, it
47.
wasn't. Well,
They sounded really young. That's why.
You can never tell, really.
no, you can't, bro.
Um,
That's why I hate computers. You can't reach them. You don't have to stand behind anything. They can say anything they want about you, and they ain't gonna stick up for shit.
Yeah. It's like radio people. You just drive by the station, we'll yell at you.
Yeah, I noticed the bulletproof glass you have in here. So it's going well, huh?
oh, here's a long message. Jake, thank you for talking about the difficulties of staying sober, says Bryce. Thank you, Diamond Dallas Page, for being his wingman and paying his bills and making sure he didn't have all that stress when he got out. Your message needs to be heard by as many people as possible. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man. Yeah, I just got through doing a gig up in West Virginia, man. And West Virginia is the #1 hot spot in the country for oxycodone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're losing somebody every week.
They're teaching kids in health class how to administer Narcan.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Man. I mean, they got one doctor up there that sold over 1 million pills.
Yeah. I saw
I
that.
read a
In 1 year.
article about that.
1 million pills.
And it, like in his town had like 500 people.
Right,
so it
right,
was
right.
Something ridiculous.
And the doctors today, man, they hook you up with them right away. Because they shut you up, you know. Yeah, you set you up, you sit over a chair.
Right. Yeah.
I was there, I did it. I finally got
It's
off
younger.
them.
I might have people who've, gone into adulthood and then been prescribed stuff and it's
Yeah.
just, can't get.
Well, and it's shocking how quickly it happens.
Yes, it is a life.
In a month.
Well, yeah, even shorter. I've
Yeah, I
seen
mean-
people who get, wisdom teeth
Yes.
and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
I need to stop this.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they either have that personality or whatever it is.
You just realize something's not right with these, man.
Yeah.
When you're reaching for it and it's because your emotion is fluctuating, not your pain,
Yeah.
Right. Sure.
That's exactly what I was doing.
Sure. Yeah, you're confusing. Oh, I do hurt emotionally. So what?
Don't make me feel better.
Yeah.
Or no, you don't make you feel at all.
Right. Which is better.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I like this picture you got. It's funny. Can you make that when you're listening?
Beer club
Alyssa
Brad.
painted that.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
That's funny.
With her screaming.
Obviously, we liked it.
Kind of looks like you right now with the eyes and everything.
I always look like that, sadly.
Yep.
You might. I don't know. If
That's
it's
why they
something-
call it dope.
Yeah. Everybody always says, "Dude, you're high." Like, no, I just look like that all the time. people must give you stuff. Like we got that from a listener.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
Tons
you've had
of
so
stuff.
many years of people loving you.
Yeah, man. I get some awesome artwork.
I was gonna say, is what stands out? I'd love to hear about some of that.
Oh man, my girlfriend, the girl I'm with now, man, she did this piece for me that just blew me away, man. It was like, whoa, that's intense shit there. Because I could hear it, you know.
Huh.
You look at some art, you can hear it talking to you.
Was it painting or?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And come to find out, she's been painting for like 30 years, man. And now I'm at her house looking around, going, oh my God, what have I got myself into? This woman ain't right, you know. And,
We're about to start Fan Art Friday on our social media because we get that much fan art.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
I
it's
bet.
there's
every
some
Comic
excellent
Con.
pieces that you should buy. You
That's
know,
a great
they're
idea.
awesome. You know, but the fan art was her idea. I'm like, fuck yeah.
That's a great idea.
Get some of that shit out of my house.
Well, you know, and that way they feel honored in what they created because when they hand it to you, they have no idea where it's going.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it I've had to actually get home, man. It's like a pain in the ass to get it home.
Right, 'cause
One
there's a
piece,
pain
man,
in
just
ink.
like this. Fuck, when I'm there.
Right.
Here we go. I still got a huge piece up in Ron's house.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's like this tall and about 6 feet wide. Unbelievable piece, man. And I walked into a club one night, I was performing there, and I went, oh my God, I love that. The guy said, you can have it. And then I find out later that the bartender tells me, he paid 10 grand for that.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
Wow.
Hell yeah, I'll come back next year, man.
See what else he's
Comes
got?
up with.
It is the Woody Wilcox Show at 106.5 The End, and Jake the Snake in the studio with us. He's going to be at the Comedy Zone tonight for one show, and you can go to cltcomedyzone.com. You can get your tickets that way. We're going to have some for you here in a second, and he's getting ready to tell us some stories. And something cool that we just found out that he's going to start doing on social media. We'll get to that here in a second. So we are live on the Woody and Wilcox Facebook page with WWE Hall of Famer, the legend Jake the Snake is here. Jake, thanks again, man, for coming by.
Appreciate it, guys.
So cool what you're doing. And if you missed the first segment with Jake, obviously those of you that know the movie The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, you know what he's been through over the years and how he's come out the other side, healthy and sober, and now talking to groups, talking to other folks who are trying to do the same. And it's awesome that you've been able to get this opportunity to do that in your
I'm
life.
alive.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, just, it is amazing. And when you watch that movie especially, I mean, those of you that watch Jake wrestle through the years, you think you know Jake, and then you watch this movie and it's like, what? This was happening behind the scenes, you know, and it really was. I loved the movie. And Woody and I were talking about this before. I think even if you were never a wrestling fan,
Right.
you watch that movie and
I've
you
had a lot
go,
of people comment to me and hey, I don't know Jack from wrestling.
Yeah.
You've helped me with my family.
right.
You know, because it also shows the side of the addict that's suffering real pain.
Right.
You know, and that pain comes from letting his family down and hating himself. You know, the hardest thing to do when getting sober is forgiving yourself.
Mm.
Not quitting drinking. Forgiving yourself is the hardest thing to do. Because it's hard to get over when you start replaying all the things that you've done wrong and all the times you weren't there and what you did that night with that, you know, oh my God, I can't believe that. And then you start thinking about the blackouts and all that and you can't forgive yourself and that puts you right back into drinking, see? And that's the hardest thing. That was the very hardest thing for me, man.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
Don't.
Imagine sitting with a mirror, and having somebody hold it up to you and say, well, you know, look at all of
Yeah.
the worst things that you've ever done. And that's a painful experience
Oh, it's
to sit that and
horrible.
just to look at that truth about yourself. But it is in that where you get the redemption from. But to do that alone is nearly impossible.
Yeah, I you know, Dallas made a rule for me where I had to get up each morning and look in the mirror and say, I like you, man. I'm like, F you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do it for a year and a half. And finally, I'm like, man, I got to try something because I'm just not getting there. And then a buddy of mine told me, and an old man told me, he says, you got to forgive yourself, man. I'm like, dude, okay, I'll try. Well, I went, and then I started trying. And it finally, a year and a half later, I finally got to it.
I was gonna say, it's gotta be easier to say than that.
Oh, yeah. You got to feel it in here, though, man. If it ain't in the heart, it ain't happening.
Right.
You know, your head can justify anything. We all know that. I can justify murder, rape, anything. There's a reason for everything. But feel it in your heart. That's where it's at.
It had to be, you know, back in the day when, you know, Jake the Snake was, you know,
Hot and heavy, man.
and you had people coming up to you and just, you are, you know, they worship, and inside, though, you're feeling like,
hated,
I don't
man.
worship.
Man, I used to hate wrestling fans so much because I'm thinking, how can you ask me to take a picture with your kid? Don't you know I'm a junkie, you stupid son of a bitch? You know, and I hated my fans for that. Of course, I'm over that now, and I do appreciate them. I think I appreciated them back then, but I would just get so angry because they did not know how bad I was hurting.
Mm-hmm. It was a reminder,
It
I
wasn't their
guess,
fault. Yeah,
of-
it's reality, man.
of how you felt about yourself.
But now I get to go around, do these comedy shows, man, have a few giggles, and I appreciate the fans because they're coming up and reminding me of matches I've long forgotten.
Yeah.
I'm like, I never wrestled that guy. They're like, look here at this program. Holy crap, I did. You know, that's pretty embarrassing. You know, something about those headshots, and that's why they call it dope, son. You lose some cells there.
So we're live on the Woody Wilcox Facebook right now, and we were talking off the air about. So we have a listener who painted a painting of us, Brad, who gave us that painting, and I was saying to Jake, man, you must over the years have gotten so much stuff from fans who wanted to give you something.
Yeah.
Maybe they made it or what something that was meaningful.
You know,
to
from
them.
5 years old on up. You know, I love the little pictures kids draw of me, man. They're hilarious, you know.
What do you do? I mean, because you
I keep them.
Do you have? I mean,
I've got tons of it.
I was gonna say, you gotta
I
have
can't
a
throw
warehouse.
it away, man. I can't throw it away. You know, I'll come home with it and what is this? Don't worry about it. Just put it in my stuff.
I mean, it must be.
There's boxes of it.
I can't.
Boxes and boxes. But some of the pieces are huge. You know, it's like, dude, come on. Can you put it on a smaller scale? Get that truck over here, Charlie. Bag it on out.
That's amazing.
You know, earlier we were talking about, you know, the resurrection, and I'm sorry I went off on a tangent talking about the Peanut Butter Falcon too. You know, that's where I was telling you about the brother that was, retarded.
Oh, yeah.
And Peanut Butter Falcon was so much fun to do, man. But I really did. I mean, as much as I enjoyed doing that, I really did going to these rehab because I just feel like that's where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I'm out here doing the comedy thing right now. Well, man, I wish there was a couple of rehabs that would open the doors for me, you know. I've just got to get somebody that can manipulate all that stuff and figure out the logistics of it because I think that's where Jake the Snake's headed because that's, you know, if I could just save one guy from doing what I did, then I've done it. And I've already, you know, I've pushed that pretty hard, man. I mean, since the resurrection, I mean, the greatest honor I've had was about a 9-year-old kid wrote me a letter and said, "Thank you, Jake, for helping my dad because now he's living with us now." Like, wow. Does it get any better than that? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got high a lot of times, but I never got that high. You know, and just helping families, man. See, an addict doesn't destroy just himself, man. There's a lot of wreckage that comes along with it. The whole family, then that family's family, then that family. Generations are lost. One addict. And, you know, today there's so many choices out there to make, man. But there's one choice left, and that's to get right, man.
Yeah.
And it can be done.
It
Yeah.
can be.
Living proof.
People change. They
Yep.
can.
Well, so obviously Jake the Snake is here, and not only going and helping people change their lives, but also entertaining by going out to places. If you're in the Charlotte area, he's at the Comedy Zone tonight. Stories, right?
Yeah, man.
Stories from the
I
old
told you,
days.
I got.
Let's
you know,
hear it.
This is the Carolinas, man.
Let me hear
so
it.
I'm going to give you a Ric Flair story. I know Carolinas. You ready for this? You ready? You guys ready?
Let's hear it.
Ric Flair's a piece of crap. End of story.
I think a lot of people have known that for a while.
Well, you know, his daughter's pretty good.
Yes.
His daughter's pretty good. I got one problem with her. She has no hips. She looks like a giant zipper. You ever notice that?
I'm
She has
staying
no
quiet.
butt. She has no really. I mean, she's a beautiful young lady. I love her work.
I feel like she could probably still do something with her life
She
without
would,
a butt.
she would kick my butt, and then she could have a butt. She could take mine. But
Sure.
I was just glad that I spotted her. You know, that she didn't have an Adam's apple. That's all I'm glad about. You know, she doesn't have an Adam's apple. I looked for that. If I found that, I'd really been in trouble. But no, just.
She looks like a zipper was your insult.
Yeah.
I'm still hung up on that one.
She does, man. She's a beautiful zipper, though. I'd like to unzip it.
I don't know what's happening. I want to go on record as saying I'm confused about this conversation right now.
The good news is you guys sound alike, so Wilcox will get the blame.
Yeah, he's the one that said it.
That's right.
I'm just sitting in here.
That's
you know?
right.
Oh,
I got it on video.
man.
No, guys, you know, I do tell road stories and stuff, crazy stuff that happened in the ring, whether it's Andre the Giant sitting on me and flagellating or whatever. That was a horrible experience, I'll tell you that. You know, Giant, you know how long a Giant can flirt? Well, about 40 seconds. When he finally got off of me, I had a wine stain on my shoulder. I thought it was a birthmark. There's just crazy things that happen in the locker room or in the strip joint. God knows we made a few of those.
What?
Oh, the snake went in some of them too.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, he got hooked up one night. Yeah, sure as hell did, man. I'll tell that one tonight.
I can't
Nice.
imagine. I
Nice.
can't imagine the snake
Oh,
stories.
yes, you
Did
can.
the snake have to pay a cover charge?
No, he didn't.
Snake was already in the bag when he got in
Tell you,
there.
man, he's
Half
gonna
in the bag.
go win.
Well,
No scales, but a couple of warts. Never mind. Let's say it out loud.
I think you did.
Oh my God.
I heard it.
I'm sorry.
Jake, thank you so much, man. And
And goodbye.
you're out.
I wondered how long it'd take.
I promise you, far worse things have been said.
That's fine.
Yeah,
prior to you
you'll
coming
hear him
in,
tonight
so.
at the show.
So follow him. We'll send this
Well,
out
you
on
know,
social media. He's at the Comedy Zone. If you're, but he's traveling. I know. I see your schedule's like every night you're in a
Columbia,
different spot.
Greensboro, Winston-Salem, then off I go again, man. I'm going to Australia and Canada and
Wow.
all sorts of lovely places, man. Taking my daughter with me, my
Yeah.
oldest daughter, which is a chance for us to have that relationship we never had when she was growing up. And I've been truly blessed.
We've wasted this time. We should have been talking to your daughter this
Well,
whole
she's
time.
a psychologist.
You're kidding.
No, of course she is. I mean, she's my kid. Yeah, she worked at the VA for the troops, man. She,
Wow.
way up the ladder on.
Good for you.
On what?
I worked in dual diagnosis. I did treatment with veterans
That's-
for addiction.
That's fantastic.
We don't need a psychologist on this show.
No, we do, but.
You'd be blacking the windows out.
That's right.
Well, we'll tweet out all the info so
Thank
that
you,
people
guys.
know where you are, Jake. And thanks again for what you're doing, man.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic. So go see Jake the Snake. Cool Beans, we got a couple of pairs for folks who want to go see Jake the Snake tonight at the Comedy Zone. 844-4WW show. And if you don't get in and win them, CLTComedyZone.com.
Way to finish strong.
That's right.
Oh, you're pretty strong. Yeah.
And next time we're bringing you on. I want to hear your story.
That's right.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes. I literally, yes, I'm a doctor.